Hey, what's going on, everybody? Boilon here, back for another video on Marvel Strike Force here today on Friday. I wasn't sure if I was going to get a video in today or not because I'm a little bit in recovery from my birthday, not feeling super great. But there is a new blog that's not the Friday blog, so I don't know if we're necessarily going to be covering that today, but we are going to be covering this so-called Road Ahead blog, which is at the end of the year, right? There's some stuff in there regarding Battleworld. I haven't actually read it all myself yet, so this is going to be my first time reaction to that. So if you want to see what's on there and you want to hear more in my thoughts, then let's boil this down. Okay, let's zoom in a little bit so we can actually see the text on here. So early 2025 preview, commanders, wow, what, yeah, blah, 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 blah. They're going on their holiday, right? And then they've done so well. They've launched a multitude of great events for the community, including Temporal Cataclysm and Frozen Dimension. And then Winter's Peak next week, the Sword Satellite Tower that is coming back. Actually, before we go any further, I do want to let people know, and there was an image somewhere, I can't find it, my apologies, but there are hidden rewards in Temporal Cataclysm that I want to let people aware of. So what you can do is you can just need to run this at difficulty 1 twice. There are rewards, hidden rewards on the nodes themselves. You can't see it. I honestly do believe that this is a bug, that this is not something they coded in by accident. Otherwise, they would have known this. It would have shown up, right? And this is also the first time there have ever been node rewards for a trial that you can run infinitely. It's absolutely wild. Basically, the TLDR is there's like something like 6 to 8 million gold if you run this 2 times and 8 diamond orbs with a whole random other crap, but those are the main rewards there. So if you're able to do this at all, even at D1 with very limited packs, I would recommend, if you have Astral, I do recommend actually running these 2 here, which gives your Astrals buffs, because they're actually very strong in the non-mythic section, which is like this middle bit here, where there's 4 nodes. So if you want to run Astral and Node, those are like the best ones in my opinion that I've been able to clear this with. So I have done this twice now, and you do get a random assortment of rewards for gold, diamond orbs, and a few other things. I think some training modules, and it doesn't show you. It doesn't show you when you clear the nodes. It doesn't show you when you clear the run. Absolutely wild. But hey, just wanted to let people know in case they didn't see it on other people's videos or on Reddit or wherever they talked about it. I think it was also mentioned in Discord too. So before we get back into the blog, let's go back. And they talk about the return to Battleworld. Now, they talk about, with the player council and envoys and select players that they're going through some adjustments to this. And they talk about that it's going to be coming back between the end of January and early February. So that's a pretty precise timeline there. What does the future of Battleworld look like? They talk about it coming back as a monthly event. And this is as far as I got before I kind of stopped to do the video here. So Battleworld will become a monthly event consisting of a 3-day siege. There will be 4 total zones per run, 3 standard zones, and a boss zone. Each zone has 3 to 5 total missions and will include 1 elite mission. Now, this sounds awfully familiar to what we already have, other than the fact that it's only a 3-day siege, which makes it sound like there's going to be 2 days, and then Null's presumably on the last day, right? So, I don't know. Maybe they're going to talk about that. They've gone from having this weekly to monthly. And I think that's actually kind of crazy for something that's supposed to be a brand new game mode. They've basically scrapped it, and instead of a game mode, they're making it an event. And I don't know if it's necessarily the same thing, because while we did kind of complain about having too much screen time and things like that, I do believe that we still wanted a good playable game mode where our screen time was respected, but was also fun to play. I guess that's what we expect. That's what I expected anyways. So I don't know if, for me, this is the right path forward for the game mode. But it seems to be what we're getting, and it is what it is, I guess, at this point. Null Shards, the King in Black, is still the big boss you battle in Battleworld. Still earn a consistent amount of shards during each monthly siege. Like, it's going to have to be a lot, right? Like, we were getting 10 per week, so it would have to be at least 40 per month. Every month, and then plus the time that we're not getting it right now because the game mode is down. Just kind of crazy. We'll have more info on the exact number of shards again, probably in January and that kind of stuff, right? Cosmic Crucible Judgment upgrades. Our team has been hard at work at creating new tech for us to reshape the battle for the Living Tribunal's judgment and juicy rewards. Here's what you can expect in 2025. New ways to play. Along with a steady supply of new global and stage rules to test your roster, you'll see Crucible seasons with fluctuating bracket sizes and the number of stages to defeat during a given week. So it sounds like they're adding more because of our roster being increased, more teams and stuff like that. Tournaments with expanded brackets are roaring back in early 2025. Get ready to duke it out for your fellow commander, blah, 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 blah. Our community team will also, so I hope this is more than just a stupid on. Okay, no, never mind. It is just a Cosmic Crucible tournament for the envoys. Really? Okay, nobody gives a fuck. That's just we care about the free codes. That's all we care about. We don't care about watching other envoys duke it out together against each other. I'm surprised, honestly. I heard that a few other envoys have quit actually in recent days, and so I would be surprised if they even have enough to run a tournament at this point, because more and more people are quitting. We've had I want to say like at least 3 quit over the last like 2 months. So I would be really shocked if there's enough envoys to fill a tournament anymore. Raid difficulty selector update. Choose your own adventure. Ready for a tougher raid challenge before the rest of your alliance, or maybe your roster isn't quite powerful enough for your alliance's preferred difficulty. Good news, the raid difficulty update we're cooking is just what you're looking for. The upcoming upgrade to the raid difficulty selector will allow each member of your alliance to select a preferred difficulty and associated rewards. That's all we're revealing. So this was a thing in kind of a thing in Lord of the Rings: Heroes of Middle Earth. Now I know Lord of Home was kind of dog shit, but the raids part of it was interesting, and that they did have this aspect. Maybe they have it in Star Wars as well. Let me know in the comments down below. I didn't really play it much, but Lord of Home had a feature where you individually could choose the difficulty of your raid. In this case, a loader raid wasn't. It was more like Battleworld to some extent. There was like unique battles and that kind of thing. Wasn't exactly a raid as we see it in here. But nonetheless, like you could choose everyone could choose their own difficulty, and they would score their own score, which would kind of then add up to the guild or alliance's score. So I guess that's what it's going to be on this raid. Like as far as season points go, you're going to earn your own season points. But I do find that kind of weird as far as like a raid map goes, right? Because if everyone is on different difficulties, how does that work? Or does the raid or are the new raids just going to be independent maps? Right? Where it's just a solo map where it's just like you need to everyone clears the same nodes and has to do it every day, that kind of thing, and there's no more like collective map. They would have to retailer how that works, because there's no way that they could make multiple difficulties on one collective map. You know, if you guys get it, like I'm not sure how that works out visually or in the game in the mechanics wise. So we'll have to see more about how they try to implement that in Marvel Strike Force. And then we have the age of X and Professor X. So let's see. Are they going to reveal the dates for this? Old Man Logan, his journey. Oh, we have a feeling his journey will come to an explosive conclusion in spring of 2025. Yeah, Old Man Logan has been basically in all of the stories and all the showcases essentially along the way. Strike Psychics are reporting that the final push to recruit Professor X to your roster will involve a release method with 60 plus mission nodes with increasing difficulties, each with various trait requirements and mean red-eyed baddies. So Dark Dimension 9, that's what they're saying. Our psychics are also reporting that these details may evolve as we near. Okay, so they don't know quite yet. Are they saying that Xavier is coming in spring of 2025, or just his part of the story is concluding in March? In spring, I guess technically is what, March, April, May, right? Winter's. So I'm getting the seasons right, like the 3 months of the seasons. So I guess I was thinking March, but really this could mean upwards to May as well. Global milestones. Strike commanders have risen to the occasion. Every time Nick Fury is called on them, no matter the mission, Nick Fury is calling on every single commander for special global milestones. During these big milestones, every commander, regardless, will work together. So like a server-wide thing that's coming up. They haven't really talked about that. Maybe is this a one-time thing, or is this like a recurring thing? Don't really know. 7th anniversary. Good God. Like I can't even like think about that right now, because this game is in just such a hot water mess that like I don't know what their 7th anniversary is going to look like. It yeah, that's exactly how I feel right now. Wag. Sounds like a World of Warcraft sound. Since her 6th birthday, but okay, what do they have? Appetizer. No, what the fuck are they? What they didn't? There's, what? There's fucking nothing. Okay, this was actually a pretty awful blog, in my opinion. There was like we kind of knew this already. Like I think if we really thought about it, we kind of knew there was something going to be happening in spring. This doesn't necessarily say that Professor X is going to be at this point in time. It just says, I mean, it suggests that, but it's not guaranteed. So I would put that in the subject to change category. The raid difficulty selector is definitely interesting, and I would like to see how that ends up panning out. Battleworld, I think that's a big bust. I don't want a monthly event necessarily. You know what I would love actually? I would love if Tower, if like Sword Satellite came back every single month, or some Tower came back every single month. Like that's what I would want to see. I actually like Tower. Battleworld, on the other hand, I don't know. It's not that I have an issue with Battleworld. It's just that it's something that I did expect either weekly or every 2 weeks. Like every month just seems weird. And also the fact that we have a team, right? We have Astral. We were just talking about Astral earlier on. We have an Astral team that we were made to build for Battleworld, which was supposed to be a weekly event. And now I guess that's being scrapped, right? I highly doubt they're going to be bringing out Battleworld teams in the future when it's going to be a monthly thing. Like they can't feasibly ask us to build a team for something that happens once a month, right? So that's probably they probably fucked any of their future plans for any future teams that was going to be Battle World related that they're going to have to go back to the drawing board for. And the fact that they even have like a tab for Battle World is just hilarious because I mean I guess they have it for Tower, right? They brought out one for Tower, so that's kind of in the same vein there because really the towers only come around like once every 2 or 3 months, anyways. So kind of crazy. That wasn't what I was expecting to see on a Friday. And my apologies, guys. There's some other stuff like in the blogs, which I'm not actually going to be, I can't even, where I'm not going to be covering it here in this video. A lot of this stuff we already know if you've been like following along with the data mines. But we will do like a little quick recap. So Jean Grey is coming out on January the 3rd. I think that's pretty important to understand. There's a Spotlight Raid 2 prologue or first strike that's coming out also on January the 3rd. We'll be talking about more about that when it becomes more relevant. However, I do want to talk about something that's really, really important. I think I'm going to go deep dive this in more detail tomorrow, but this is, if you haven't read the blog post yet, what you want to look at is this part here. So Alpha Flight and Uncanny Avengers are the two raid teams. I already mentioned this, right? So if you've been following this channel, you're already up to date and you already know what's going on. Alpha Flight is the team for Spotlight Raid 2. Now, unfortunately, they also want you to upgrade both teams, Alpha Flight and Uncanny Avengers, to purple ISO level 3 to clear all of the Spotlight Raid 2 nodes. It starts at nothing, no ISO requirements, and then purple 2, and then purple 3. Now, the reason why this is a problem, and we're going to get into more detail with this tomorrow, is that they're all global hero. So this doesn't really help you if you're pre-Odin and you are still working your way towards this, or if you're still working towards Odin, but you're well past the global hero point at the stage at this point. And so this is a lot of purple ISO when they're not really improving the amount of income that we're getting. I did do all of my Alpha Flight today, but I'm left with very little purple orbs, even me, and I'm post Odin. Maybe I shouldn't have upgraded some of my reworks before I actually heard about this, but I did not think that they were going to go all the way to purple 3. I kind of expected purple 2, but 3 was quite a big increase. So now I'm kind of running low on resources a little bit. My apologies as well for not getting to a Shiji Core video for Medusa. I just wasn't feeling that well this morning. My strategy, just a TLDR, my strategy for power coring these days, I am holding for Jean Grey and Hercules for when they come out. Those are going to be must-have unlocks because, the way the characters are released in this game, that if you wait too long, right, like Spotlight Raid's coming, and you're going to need the full 5. They mentioned in that blog, actually, that you need the full 5 characters to start those nodes. So it's going to be like when Alpha Flight came out and you're kind of waiting around for Sasquatch to come out. In this case, though, the release methods are taking like weeks and weeks and weeks. And so I want to have those characters ASAP. So I will be unlocking Jean Grey and Hercules right when they come out so that I have them ready for the next raids. Anyways, we'll be talking about this more in videos to come. So that's going to be it for today on Friday. Have a great rest of the weekend, everybody. And until next time, stay safe and healthy. I'll see y'all later. Boilon signing out.